everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a full face of first impressions. Today I created this look using all products that I've never tried before. Some of them are new launches, some of them are just new to me, but long story short, I actually hate the way my makeup looks right now. Like, I hate it. It looks pretty good on camera, but in person it looks pretty awful. Just like the base is really bad. Anyways, if you want to see how to achieve this look and see a couple mini reviews on some new launches, then just keep watching. Okay, so the first product that we're gonna test out is a new eyeshadow palette by Morphe. I got this in PR. This is the 35G Bronze Goals palette. You know, they have their fair share of neutral palettes, but I do have to say, I think this one is my favorite color scheme wise, just because I feel like in a lot of Morphe palettes, there's a lot of redundant shades, and in this one, I don't really feel that way. There's a couple that are pretty similar, but for the most part, I feel like everything's fairly different. You have tons of shimmer shades. You have like cranberries, orange, bronze, golds, dark shades, browns, light shimmer shades. There's just like a little bit of everything. Oh, I forgot a mirror. As always, be right back. Okay, so I got my handy dandy Kat Von D mirror, and let's get started and start testing these shadows. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is dip into this shade here. It's a light brown, and I'm gonna use that as a transition shade. So I'm just gonna place this in my crease and then blend it upwards as I normally do. These shades do have names, however, they're on like a little plastic card, which drives me crazy. So I'll check the shade names after, and then I'll like put them in a little text thing down below. I don't know what kind of look I want to do. This is going to be hard to choose because I feel like there are quite a few options in this palette, so that's always nice. The only thing is there aren't like a ton of matte shades. You're pretty limited for mattes in this palette. Next, I'm going to go in with this warm orangey matte brown right here. Whoa. Yeah, this one here. And I'm loading this up on a Morphe Y18, and I'm just gonna place this in my crease. Just a little bit lower. I feel like this brown has a lot of yellow in it. Like, it's really quite warm. So far there's no patchiness at all, so that's great. Everything's fairly smooth and pigmented. Since I used this really super duper warm shade in the crease, I feel like my only option is to stay fairly warm on the lid, or else it'll just look weird. I'm gonna deepen things up just a little bit with this really dark reddened brown. Reddened, I don't think that's a word. Reddish brown, I guess. I'm just gonna take that and smudge it on my outer corners. So I'm just using a tad bit of concealer and a Mini Definer S206 brush, and I'm just gonna add some concealer onto the lid because I know that's how Morphe shimmers apply best. And it's not just Morphe, it's most shimmer shades actually. They really adhere to a tacky base, so I almost always do this step. If I'm being honest, a lot of these shimmer shades feel really rough in comparison to other Morphe shadows. I don't know why. Kind of weird. I think I'm just gonna keep things simple and dip into this light bronze tone right there. Yeah, these shimmers are kind of hard to pick up on a brush. I don't know why that is. I'm using my Stellazzi Flat Concealer S500 brush, and that usually works really well for picking up shimmer shades. What the heck is happening? It's not picking up at all. That's weird. Okay, I'm gonna switch colors because that's not working. And I'm gonna dip into, let's try this warm tone bronze in the center of the palette. See, that is so much more vibrant and pigmented. That first shade did something really weird, and I did not like that. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of that dark shade that we used and just smudge it into the crease again, or the outer corner, sorry, and kind of blend it over top of the shimmer shade we applied. All right, and I'm gonna say that's it for the eye look. So I'm gonna go off camera really quickly and do my other eye so I'm not here for 10 years, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I didn't have a liquid eyeliner or a mascara to test out, so I just did that off camera as well. And now we can move on to the face before we finish up the eyes. So I recently got this little trial size of the Milk Hydrogrip primer. It's supposed to be hydrating and it's supposed to grip your makeup. I feel like this product is fairly hyped up. Maybe that's just me, but I'm gonna take a couple pumps on my fingers and just apply it as I would a primer. Oh, it's thicker than I thought it was gonna be. I may have taken too much. And by may have, I most definitely have. Now, I don't know if I am the best person to test this out because I have oily skin. So I think like anything is fairly hydrating. This does feel nice on the skin. The more I rub it in, the more tacky it kind of feels, but not like annoyingly tacky. Well, kind of annoyingly tacky, but you're always gonna put something on top, right? So, all right, so that's down. It feels fairly hydrating, but again, I think anything's hydrating. This isn't a first impression, but I've only tried it once, so I feel like it's still kind of new. The Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. I tried this on camera last time. I think I liked it, but we're gonna try it again and we'll see how this primer foundation combo goes. Sorry, I'm not really used to a tacky primer, so I'm kind of mesmerized by this feeling. It is getting less tacky now that it's starting to dry a little bit, but the tackiness is definitely still there. So I'm just gonna apply my foundation. Oh, that was a terrible sound. I am so sorry. So I remember what this foundation looked like the last time. And I feel like even like just right off the bat, it's going on more pigmented. And I'm assuming that's because of the primer, because I don't think I used a primer last time. Kind of adding some weird texture to my face though. Hold on, maybe it's not, I can't tell. So it is definitely more pigmented than the last time, for sure. I feel like it's adding a little bit of weird texture to my skin. Not weird texture, sorry, but it's making like the foundation kind of go on a little bit strange. It's kind of making it like cake up in some areas. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like I'm not. Yeah, I'm gonna say this primer is a no for me. Just again, based off my first impression. I'll probably go through the sample just to be sure, but I don't like it. It's making the foundation go on weird. It's not adding texture to my face. I think I explained that a little bit poorly, but it's almost making it like ball up in some areas, almost like it's gripping in some areas and then not in others, if that makes sense. Okay, so for concealer, I have a new one to me. It's not a new product, but it's new to me. I've never tried it. This is the Catrice Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. I think it's Tati that really likes this, and I always really like Tati's recommendations, so I wanted to try this out. I got the shade, I don't know, what shade is this? Light Natural 005. I can't remember exactly, but I feel like there wasn't a very good shade range at the Ulta that I went to, but I'm not sure if that was because the Ulta was crappy or if this just has a crappy shade range. I'll have to check that out. So I'm just going to apply this under my eyes. Okay, the color is not the best match for me, but that's probably my own fault, so. It's a lot thinner than Tarte Shape Tape. I'm just gonna use that as an example because that's always like the cult favorite. I think I like that. That's a really nice finish, actually. Huh, honestly, I wasn't really expecting that. My under eye looks good. That was so easy to blend out too. I'm a little bit shook right now. I don't know if this is the lightest shade or if they have more colors. Hopefully they do, because this shade's just a little bit too dark and yellow for me. Actually, no, it's probably not too dark. Yeah, just a little bit too yellow, but maybe that helps correct the purple undertones in under my eyes. So I don't know. Don't listen to me. I'm just thinking out loud here. This is just so easy to blend out, like in comparison to Tarte Shape Tape. It's taking so much less time. I think that's why I was so like confused at first. I feel like it gave a similar result for just so much less work. It's a lot thinner, but still very high coverage. Like that blended out so easily. I'm just gonna add a little bit more just to see how it layers, just to the very inner corners, because that's kind of my problem area, as I'm sure it is with most people. I'm shook. I really like that concealer, just based off first impression, obviously, but like, wow, that's really good. So I don't have a new powder to use, so I'm just gonna use my Laura Mercier translucent powder. Oh crap, you know what? Dang it! Am I the worst YouTuber ever or what? Put powder all over my face and I totally had these Morphe liquid illuminators to try out. I'm sorry. I feel like just putting them over powder just isn't really giving them a fair chance. Sorry, I shouldn't talk while I take those out of the package. But this is what they look like. I guess I'll just swatch one. I don't know. Man, I suck. I'm so sorry. This is the shade Optic. They feel kind of oily and there's not a lot of payoff. This might be good for like the summertime when you want like a glossy, shiny look, but I can't see this sitting on foundation nicely. It says you can put it on top of your foundation or you can mix it in. This is the pink one that's called Strobe. Yeah, none of them really have like tons of color payoff. So I don't know if they're supposed to be more like a drop that's supposed to add like a glossy texture instead of an actual color. Do I put it on? Okay, let's try just like a tiny bit. I'm not gonna use the pink. I'm probably gonna use this color, the Optic shade. This could be a really bad idea. I'm kind of nervous. So I'm just gonna take like a tad on my pinky. It's not going as terribly as I thought it would right off the bat. I don't really see a difference. I don't know if that's because I powdered already, so I'm not giving this a fair shot. I feel like I have to do it to the other side now. It didn't do anything. Okay, I don't know what to say. I don't see a difference. And I'm not sure if it's because I powdered or what. So I will have to give those another try. That was useless. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have even applied that. Like, you can't tell anything from what I just did there. I'm just gonna powder on top again just because I don't want anything to really stick to that area. Yeah, I don't see a damn thing. Okay, moving on. I'm just gonna take that matte brown shade from the Bronze Goals Morphe palette, and I'm just gonna run this on my lower lash line a little bit. I'm just gonna take a bit of the darker brown and just smudge that down there too. Okay, now for pencil eyeliner. I do have something new. This is by Kat Von D. It's the new Cake pencil. It's supposed to be super pigmented and last a really long time. It's supposed to mimic the cake technique that makeup artists use, like a cake eyeliner that's water activated. So it's a little twist up eyeliner, and yeah, I guess we'll just see how this goes. This is in the shade Mad Max Brown. They have a black one, a brown one, and a white one, but I figured the brown would look best with this look. Actually, let's do a swatch first. Ooh, very creamy, very pigmented, went on very smoothly. I'm excited. This looks promising. Okay, so I like the way that applied. It went on my waterline really easily. I don't have a lot to say about it, but looks good so far. Okay, now this is what I'm really excited about. I just watched Jaclyn Hill's video last night, her favorites video. It's her newest one that just went up and she mentioned this, and I was already excited about it, and then she talked about it and I was like, I hope this is gonna be as amazing as she says it is. This is the Morphe Glamabronze bronzer in the shade Icon. First of all, this thing is freaking huge. Okay, where do I put the packaging? Hold on, there we go. Like, that's massive in comparison to the size of my head. Like, it's huge. The thing that I'm most excited about with this bronzer is the tone of it. As you can see, I'm super fair, so I feel like it's really hard to find a bronzer that's a good color for me. Everything's always too dark or too orange or too red, but this looks really good. It looks really promising. So here we go. Okay, so it's very pigmented and smooth right off the bat. I feel like I'm applying too much, but I'm just really excited. It's a little orangey, if I'm being honest. The tone, maybe it's just orangey for a contour shade. That would make sense. Okay, so for that bronzer, I like it, I think. It's kind of gripping in some areas, but I don't think it's the bronzer because it appears to be gripping in the same areas that the foundation did. So I think it's the primer that's the problem. That's the thing with these first impressions videos. It's hard to tell. I do like the tone. My hair is like all over my forehead. I think I got a little bronzer happy up here, which is why it turned a bit orange, but I think the tone is really good. Again, I'm gonna have to try it a couple more times to make sure but I'm pretty sure it's the primer. I don't have a new blush to try out, so I'm gonna just skip that step altogether. I just kind of brought some of the bronzer up onto my cheeks. But for highlight, I have the Super Shock Cheek by Colourpop in the color Lunch Money. They sent me a few products. This ironically was not one of them. Oh my gosh, Fred. Hi. He just hopped on my lap and was really off balance, so he then fell off. You wanna come say hi? Don't be shy.
I'm just trying to pick a movie.
You're so handsome. Come say hi.
Hey.
This is my lovely boyfriend. If you guys don't know, he's going to do my makeup sometime in the near future. You guys voted for that on Instagram, so you're gonna do a good job, right?
Yes, I just want a movie.
What movie are you gonna watch? Will Ferrell? How do you think this foundation looks on me? Look really close.
Don't really notice any difference.
No? Okay. I don't like it.
Why?
I feel like it's like clinging to weird areas. Like, look at my chin. You can like see the texture.
Yeah, you can.
So yeah, I've never tried the Colourpop cheek products and I'm excited to. It's such a weird texture, the Super Shock. It's like powder, but it's cream. So I'm gonna try applying it with my finger. I feel like my finger or a beauty blender would be the best way. I think it's kind of gripping, but again, I don't think it's the primer. I think this time it's the Morphe oil. I'm just not having good luck today. I'm gonna try with a beauty blender, see what that does. I feel like, I don't know. Oh yeah, I like that. I think I like that better than my fingers. I know I'm super late to the party on this one. Like, these have been out for years. I'm pretty sure they have pretty good reviews too. I think a lot of people do like them. It's a very pretty color as well. It's light and light enough for my skin tone, but it's not too pink. It still has a really pretty gold tone to it. Okay, and last but not least, for lips, I'm excited about this one. This one is also by Colourpop and they sent it to me. This is the Ultra Blotted Lip in the color, sorry, I don't have my glasses on, Vitamin C. And I have no idea what the Ultra Blotted Lip formula is supposed to be like. Like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to be like a liquid lip but a little bit sheared out, but I have no idea what to expect, so let's just apply it. Oh yeah, so it looks like I get the Ultra Blotted Lip. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna stop talking, hold on. Okay, so I get what they mean when they say ultra blotted lip. It looks like you put on a lipstick and then like blotted it off. I really like that, but just a quick note, don't overline your lips with this. It's not pigmented enough and you'll just look like you ate a can of SpaghettiOs. I really like this formula. I really like this color. I'm gonna add a gloss on top just because I feel like it and because I kind of want to fix this overlining disaster. So I'm gonna use a Colourpop. Yikes, it's been a day. I'm gonna use the Colourpop Ultra Glossy Lip in the color Champagne Mami. I don't know why I said Mami like that. Champagne Mami. Mami? Mami. This is a new color, so technically it's kind of a first impression. I've tried the Ultra Glossy formula before, but that's a pretty color. I like it. I think this is in collaboration with someone. Could be wrong, and I don't really know who, but put it down below if that's right or wrong. I don't know. Okay, and this is the completed look. I will zoom you in really quickly. I don't really like how it turned out, if I'm being completely honest. It's not terrible, especially on camera. It's looking pretty good actually, but in person, it's definitely not my favorite. So I'm just gonna go over a quick rundown of the products that we used and my official first impression. The Morphe 35G Bronze Goals palette, I am unsure. The mattes in here are really good, but a lot of the shimmers just from swatching kind of feel a little bit rough, and I had a hard time applying one all over the lid, which I usually don't have with Morphe shades. So I'm gonna have to test this out a few more times just to get a feel for all the shades, because maybe it was just that one that was a bit of a dud. I don't really know. So I think the colors are really pretty. The mattes are nice. I would feel it in stores just to see if it's something you would be interested in. Next up, we tried the Milk Hydrogrip Primer. This is a serious no from me. I don't like this, not in the slightest. It gripped at my foundation weird and everything else went on funky on top of it as a result. So I don't know, I just don't really like this, and I would recommend getting a sample first. Next was the Catrice Liquid Camouflage. Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. I really liked this. I'll have to look into the shade range, but this was affordable, full coverage, and really easy to apply and blend out. So yeah, really like this. Next was the Kat Von D Cake Pencil. I really liked this so far. I think the selling feature for this particular product is the longevity, so I can't really judge on that at this point, but it applied really smoothly. It was richly pigmented and I liked it so far. Next up was the Morphe bronzer in the shade Icon. I like this. I like the tone of it. It's light enough for my pale gals and for myself because, you know, I don't get sun. It's not too orange unless you apply a lot of it, and I got a little bronzer happy over on this side, so it did have a bit of an orange tone, but overall I think it looked really good and the formula was really nice. It did patch up on my cheeks, but again, I think that's the primer. I've said this a million times, but I think I like this bronzer. Next was the Super Shock Cheek by Colourpop in the color Lunch Money. Loved this. It's super pretty. It's not crazy blinding, but it still has a bit of a punch. It's a really pretty color. I really like the formula, and you can't beat the price. It's super affordable. I think this is like $8, so. And last was the Colourpop. I keep doing that, Colourpop Ultra Blotted Lip. I was a little confused about this concept at first, but it turns out I really like it. It kind of gives you like a stain mixed with a liquid lipstick. That's the best way I can describe it, and I really liked the finish of it. And that is it for my full face of first impressions. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye!